basically, if you was Chris Brown, you had a meet and greet, girls would like they would kind of sexualize you in a way, take like weird pictures.
No, they spin a static.
Yes,
like take a picture of that. How you and Armani take pictures, that's how they take pictures with Chris Brown. And that's Usher feeding the cherry to the shorty. Boy, ain't no way. Ain't no way in fuck shrimp.
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. It's DNS Soldier.
And this is Robby Too Fast in the building, you feel me? Back with another episode of the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. We are your hosts, CEOs. You feel me? All that in a bag of chips. A fresh slice of bread. Today, we got something a little different. You feel me? We got something a little different for y'all. We're going to have a conversation. But not just me and this guy right here. Because I'm getting tired of him. We got to bring some fresh new people in here. Alright? So this is how we're going to do, alright? I need y'all to introduce yourselves. I need your name, your age, and your relationship status. And then we're going to ask you a controversial question. We're going to start, we can start with me and we're going to go around. So my name is Robby Too Fast, as you know. I am 25. I am not in a relationship, but I'm off the market. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Picking up what I'm putting down. Picking up what I'm putting down, all right? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I am living cold.
Oh!
24.
Yeah.
What was it back then?
Relationship status.
I'm single.
Okay. Yeah.
Ready to mingle. My name Reese. Reese T. Yeah, that's
I-E-T.
I'm 20. And my relationship status is getting closer to the Lord.
I love seeing it.
All right, now, hey, amen now. I'm ready.
I mean, shit, obviously, DNS Soldier. You feel me? I'm 25, and I am in a happy relationship. Yes, I am.
Oh, we love that for you. Okay.
I guess it.
And so now, if you need a second to think about it, okay, just let us know. We have this is a startup question. What's a hill you'll die on, no matter how unpopular it is? Okay? So, do you have your answer? Do you need time to think?
I got a couple. Ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you can go start it off, and then whenever y'all ready, just let us know.
First one, as y'all, you feel me, probably gonna see in the other videos, cheating. And that's a hill on the dial.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like cheating, there's no right answer. Or it's like, it's never a right answer to cheat. Now, I still believe in getting your look back. Don't get me wrong. But then it's like, it's not right, but it's not wrong. So I still don't fuck with cheating. If you're unhappy or whatever it is, your mans can't satisfy you, you know, just leave. You know, we're grown, at least. I'm grown, so the way I'm looking at it, like, you feel me? Just be grown. Like, that's some kid, childish shit. Like, you can't keep your legs closed, you can't keep your dick in your pants, don't get in a relationship. It's just that easy, to me at least. Something else, a hill that I'll die on, black queens are better. That's a hill I'll die on.
Black queens forever, Snow Bunny, never. Shout out back to Umar. Yeah. Y'all got one, or you want me to go ahead?
I have one.
All right now, Liv.
This is a conversation I've had a couple times in the past couple days. So like in my like in my dating site, like little bio thing, like one of the questions was like kind of the same, what's it on your dial, like what's something controversial? And I put the only, like nothing outside of marriage is concrete. And like what I mean by that, right, is like, yeah, if I get in a relationship, guess I'll be loyal, do all the things because I chose to be in a relationship. But at the end of the day, if you're just talking boyfriend, girlfriend, even, you know what I mean, like engaged to be married, you wake up, you decide you don't want to be with that person, that's a conversation, that's a phone call. Like, yes, that's kind of money that y'all put into that relationship or whatever, cool, but like, there's nothing that's holding y'all in that relationship other than y'all's word to say that y'all are going to stay together.
I'm gonna speak on that a little bit because I feel like I agree. I feel like you're downplaying the word because I think personally, like that holds weight more. Like, you know, you got some pathological liars. Like, you know, I know one. I used to work with one. Man, lie to cheap every day. Every day. I'm like, God dang, brother, when you gonna stop lying? But I think I disagree. But I do feel like something like that word that does hold a little weight. Like, for instance, like relationships outside of marriage. Like, what kept me in them is that I just felt like, yeah, we, you know, my finger been bare for a while, but I don't know. I just feel like that just. I told you I was with you. We said we together, so that's that. I don't feel like it's as. I don't know if you're minimizing it, but I just feel like it's more than that.
Not that I'm minimizing it, but like, so my point is more so, if you're actually married, right?
Okay.
You have to, you know what I mean, go to court and file paperwork, and that's lawyers and time and money that you have to put into getting divorced. It's not, I'm gonna wake up today and then I'm just, you know, we're gonna be done with this marriage. Like, no, there's a whole process that you have to go through. Whereas just boyfriend and girlfriend, just talking or whatever, you could wake up tomorrow, hey, I want to be with you, and it's done.
I got you.
I don't totally agree. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And the reason, I mean, I get your logic and what you're saying, and like the foundations of it is correct. You know what I mean? Because technically, if you're not in a marriage, that's when you have to actually sign papers to say, hey, we're no longer together. On that aspect, I get it. But besides that piece of paper, what is stopping me from being cool? Like, what is holding me to this marriage, for real, for real? Besides saying that we're actually married on paper.
Not saying like the marriage is going to be perfect or anything, like not speaking on the conditions in the relationship, more so just the fact that like,
The actual process of walking away.
you know what I mean? Like,
Papers.
the process of walking away is just a lot, it takes a lot more. And I mean, if you were going to take the time and effort to be in a relationship with somebody for long enough that you want to get married to them, because wedding rings are not cheap. Even engagement rings are not cheap. So you're going to spend your hard-earned money to get this ring. You're going to spend because weddings are not cheap either. Spend all this money to have the wedding and then to go to court and file the paperwork. And you know, most people, when they get married, they go buy a house together. Cool, then you're going to buy a house together, and you're probably going to buy cars and things of that nature. And then if there's kids, there's also that aspect. So I feel like just the process to get divorced after you've already gone through the process of getting married is a lot more strenuous than just, you know what I mean, we're together, oh, we've been together a few months, we don't see this working out. Cool, I don't really like you the way I thought I liked you, we're done.
I like the time and effort. Like, I guess the best example that just came to my head, that kind of is like, for instance, like we do music. Like, you know, we started doing music, we was in the corner of my room, you know, we used to put it on the phone real quick, you know, but then once we started paying for studio time, and then we're paying people to be in our videos, and then we got to pay the videographer for $800, and then we got to pay the Airbnb $500, and then we got to pay these models $200 a piece, and then I got to get this rental car, and I got to put gas. Like, it's a lot harder to walk away from that than it was, you know, that first little, you know what I mean, that the effort and time and energy put into it. It's like it takes, like, you've invested into this. Like, it's a lot harder to walk away from that. I feel like that would be the answer that I think is that effort and time, like, you're invested. Like, you know what I mean? When we put bets in on FanDuel, and then when you're not a football fan, but you be paying attention to them goddamn games. You put that brand into there. So you be like, hey, look, I'm a Ravens fan today. Come on, Lamar. You know, you can put something into it. I don't know. I think that's something that came to my head.
I mean, I feel you. Maybe I just ain't shit. I ain't gonna lie, cause like it's also like I see that. I see what y'all saying for real, but I just feel like, to me, it's like maybe it's trust issues, maybe it's just like, you know, abandonment issues or whatever the fuck you may have. You like, but I just really feel like it is not that hard for a motherfucker to get up and just walk out your life. Now, you can be tied like legally paperwork and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, if that motherfucker don't care enough,
yeah, you don't gotta care. But when you're legally tied, it's a lot. It's a lot more. Like your taxes are connected. Like it's a lot that you can't do like without like, or even like let's say you know, because I feel like yeah, you could just walk out, but like if you're, I mean it's just a lot. Like I've seen a lot. Like you have to keep dealing with these people, and you can just act like they don't exist, but they do. Like let's say if you're married, let's say if you want to go get married to somebody else. Well, not in the United States you can't, because you're already married. So now you gotta explain to this person, oh yeah, by the way, I mean technically I'm still married over here, but I want you, my love is with you, man. Well,
I mean, at that point, if I'm explaining it, yeah, Shawty don't want to sign no waivers or, you know, but
you can't get married.
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I still feel like, man, maybe I just think shit, bro. It's not that hard for them. I see what y'all saying, though, in the sense of, like, legally, with your taxes and all that, you got to constantly deal with this person, so you can't fully hit it, like, eject out their life, but I don't know.
What about that time and effort? Like that aspect as well. Like it seems like it's not that deep because it's not legal, but it's like really think about things that you've invested in. Like it's like first like our music, like we're not as consistent as we once were, but it's hard to just be like, hey, I'm done. Like, and maybe you know it's more. I know it's more for you than just like you know the business aspect of it. Like you know, but even that like what it means to you, like it's to just be like I'm done with music, like. You know what I mean? Like, how hard would that be? Like, to just walk away and like, and even if you're not actively doing it, like, bars still pop up in your head, like, you know what I mean? Like, because even though I haven't wrote a song in a minute, like, I see a beat on YouTube, let me click on that drum real quick. You know what I mean? Or bars still pop up in my head, or people be like, yeah, people still hit me up like, hey, yo, when did that say you dropping? Chill. You know?
I mean, bro, to keep it a buck with you.
Yeah, Soldier, bro.
Like, the way I look at time, right? When you have your time invested in something, it's never a waste of time until you give up. You know what I mean? It may take you however long it takes you, but like, at the end of the day, you accomplish the goal. Now, there's also times in life where you just happen to waste your time. This shit was a waste of time. You chalk it up to that and you keep it pushing. So that time and shit I had invested, I wasted my time. Or if I learned a lesson, thank you God, I learned a lesson and keep it pushing. But that's just me.
You do have a hill that you would die.
Nah, I'm ready for the questions.
Okay, well, a hill that I die on, and we don't even gotta argue about it, or if y'all want to put your input on. You cannot be married and have a best friend of the opposite gender.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Like, yeah, like.
Why?
Oh my God.
Because your partner's your best friend. Now, I feel like you can have friends of the opposite gender, but like, for instance, right, like, and I've talked about this multiple times, like, you know, shout out Bree, shout out Tina, shout out Cheyenne, shout out Celebrity, you know what I mean? Like, they was my homies, but like, there was a point in time, like, you know, I would go to Celebrity house and we would just kick it, you know, in her room, like, we wasn't knowing that, we would just be kicking it, you know what I mean? Same thing, Bree would come over. Ain't no way in hell that I'm married and Bree coming over and chilling in my room.
I'm not saying do that though.
But I'm just saying the level, you can be friends, but the level decreases.
Why?
Because, like.
I disagree.
Why?
That's preposterous.
Why?
If I've been friends with Terrence since we was about 3 or 4, and let's just say I get married, I'm about 27 or 28, you're telling me someone that I've known literally my whole entire life, I gotta decrease our friendship because of my wife? You're insecure.
It's not about insecurity. It's about the priorities. Your priority is so.
I'm not saying I want to prioritize her, but I'm not going to decrease our friendship.
It's not that you do it on purpose. It just happens regardless. So, for instance, right when he got in a relationship with her, when he got a relationship, what do you say?
Negative.
When he got in a relationship with her, our time decreases automatically. We didn't have to say it. She didn't have to be like, "Hey, look, Robby, that nigga mine." Like, it was just automatic. We knew that, hey, look, my time with him decreases. Pause. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. We talk less. If he's like, hey, yo, Armani calling, it's not oh, damn, man, you been talking to her all day.
I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to lay out that land. It just is what it is. Like, it just decreases. And if it's the opposite sex, let's be real. Intrusive thoughts come in. intrusive thoughts come in, and it's like, yo, like my even if I'm married. You said what?
Intrusive thoughts like what?
Are y'all fucking? Does she want my man? Does he want my woman? That's just for life.
That's a different topic.
It's not. How so?
Because that shouldn't be your friend if you think that one day your intrusive thoughts.
No, not me. That's what my partner's gonna think.
She should never think that. That shouldn't be your type of
those are real thoughts. It's not about you being scared. Those are real thoughts. And even if you don't think like it's gonna come in your mind, it might not go to the point like, oh, I really think that. You'd be like, have they? Like that's a conversation. Like let's say like
that's a previous conversation before you even get to marriage. Like, oh, I have these friends. This is what has happened. This hasn't happened. This is what won't happen.
Right, but that doesn't mean. But as you go on, your priority is her, and so that friendship decreases.
I won't say it decreases. I mean, maybe it will look a little bit different, obviously, of course. But I don't think it would decrease. Like who's somebody? Me and Bullock, right? Bullock is about to get married next month, actually. Mm-hmm. Now, me and Bullock have always been pretty close. You know, like been in the army together. We've gone through some things. You know, it's like I don't think people really realize how much stress it causes, like how stressful being in the military actually is, honestly. So like we didn't. Not to say what, but we done been through some things, and I feel like maybe when we first met, not in my mind, but like there may have been something, whatever, because we didn't really know each other. But like once it was kind of solidified that, oh no, we're just friends, it's never going to be anything more than that. Like I've met his fiance several times. His daughter, like I was over at like his mother's house with him and his daughter for Christmas like 2 years ago. Like that's somebody, he's about to get married. Obviously, like we used to be on the phone maybe like once a week. I probably only talk to him when I go to drill. Or maybe if he calls me with talking about something, or if I call him about something during the month, I maybe talk to him like 2-3 times a month, which is like, that's also fine, because I only see him once a month.
Okay, so maybe decrease isn't the word, but it's not, it can't be, that friendship cannot be the same when you were single to relationship to marriage. It changes each time. You're not the same person that you were single as you are in a relationship and then married. You're different people. The landscape of that changes. Even let's not even say that. Even for instance, like when me and we were cool in high school, we lived 15 minutes away. Versus now we're 4 hours away. So without me even being in a relationship, our friendship has changed. Versus when we would hang out once a week, you know what I mean? We'd all be chilling at Soldier's crib doing nothing. just sitting in the house, just doing nothing. You know what I mean? Versus now, like I probably see her on her birthday only. Or what's all I mean, but it still changes though. And then when she well, I can't really speak on it. But Tina, she got a nigga, she's like, it's the same thing. Like I was saying with him and Armani. If you say like, hey look, like what's going on? Okay, I know that your time is different. Or even the respect, or even something I thought about is the respect for the relationship. It's like, I don't even taking out the possibility that these thoughts might come into your head. Whether it's right or wrong for you to feel like that. Before we even get that, like we're not even going, you know what I mean? We're not even going to think like that, you know what I mean? I'm going to give all my time and energy. I know Soldier got something to say because he's looking at me.
I was just paying attention, bro.
Not good.
I agree with you, but I don't. I just feel like the wording is off. Like what you're trying to say ain't what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because I feel like what it comes off of as like the value of that friendship might decrease, or like, you know.
I mean, that is what I mean though. I value my wife more than I value my best friend.
But that don't mean that you're, that friendship has to decrease because you value something more. You know what I mean? It's like there will be changes in a sense. Like, yeah, we did get, well, like when I got in a relationship, right, we may have talked less because now I'm talking to her. You know what I mean? But it's also like, it could be 2 in the morning, it could be 3 in the morning, it could be whenever, meet her in a heated argument. If you call me, this probably needs you right now. I'm gonna look at her like, yeah, whatever this is.
I mean, that's an extreme though. But if it's a regular conversation, it's been times where you like, everybody, what you need? Oh, it's nothing serious. Okay, well, I need to go talk to my girl. Point blank, period.
But that, like, I understand that, but that doesn't make the value of that friendship decrease. You know what I mean? It's like just because I may not be able to talk to you as long as I did, the value does not decrease. I
think it does though, because she's a higher priority. She needs your attention more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes her a higher priority. That doesn't mean that our friendship is worthless or that is useless or anything. She just needs your time more than me. You know what I mean? When this podcast is over, we're not gonna be in a room together. You're gonna be over there with her because she needs your time. She needs that affection.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. She needs you. All of that. That relationship needs more energy and effort than me and yours does, or me and Breeze does.
Like, I get what you're saying, bro, but at the same
You just don't
time,
like what I'm saying.
like, cause it's like, even with that, my relationship with you has not decreased in a sense of the value where I hold you at, all that. It's like, yeah, she's my girl. I mean, if you crying, she crying. I'll be like, you good, bro? Like, I'll call you later, bro. Like, you sure you good? Oh, okay, let me go handle that.
We can't talk about the crime.
I'm good. But like, you know what I mean? In a sense, like, yeah, you may prioritize one over the other, but that doesn't mean that if our friendship was here, that like because I got in a relationship, that it's gonna decrease to here. Like, oh, you know what? Robby, he's crying right now, or excuse me, you know, he's going through something right now, and but you know, mommy, you know.
I mean, that is literally what you just said, though.
But it's like at the same time, it's like.
It's just the aggressiveness of that I'm saying. It seems like
not even the aggressiveness. It's literally like in my head, it's like our friendship value does not decrease because someone else.
Hers just goes over ours.
But that doesn't. It can go over whatever. You know what I mean? But like, okay, let me ask you this then, because if we're talking about relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your relationship with God is supposed to be above all else, right?
Mm-hmm.
But does your relationship with God decrease the relationship with your girl?
In the order, yeah.
That's just the order, but the value.
I mean, if God is number one, she's probably two.
But what I'm saying is the value of that relationship.
I see what you're saying.
That's it. It's more like what I'm hearing from you. It's like the value of it. We may talk less,
I
we may
mean,
whatever.
I mean, if you want to be real, I do value my relationship with God more than her. I mean, if you want to be real,
But does that mean you value hers any less?
in a way.
I don't know, bro. We just may not agree with that situation. You feel me?
I mean, not that like she's like that's what I'm saying. Like just because I value my relationship with God more, that doesn't mean that that my relationship to her is meaningless. Let's not even go too extreme. Like just because I value that less doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. That's just the reality of the situation.
I feel like you're thinking relatively, like, man, so like y'all were speaking, right, y'all's friendship was number one, but then you got a girl, right, so now y'all friendship is number two, and you're thinking, okay, well, since it's under this, like, this may have less value. I feel like you're thinking about it objectively. Like, yes, this thing holds more value, but y'all's friendship as a whole, like,
She's thinking facts.
you know what I mean, excluding our mind, is not any, like, it did not lose any value. Yes, she may have more value than you, but you did not lose your value. You know what I mean? If you have a ruby and a diamond, just because the diamond is more valuable does not take away the value of it.
That's what I said though.
That is not what I heard.
I said it decreased, but based on that other person, like you say,
Not decrease, but
the words you're using are wrong.
right? I
feel like
The order of your relationships in your life
is right.
are changing.
So like, just okay. I have Ruby right now in this room. If somebody brings in a diamond, it's not going to decrease the value of this Ruby.
Bull crap!
It's still going to have
still
the same value.
Ruby.
It's not more valuable than
Hey, man,
the
look.
diamond, though.
Hey, man, look.
But it still has the same value.
I'm sitting right here, and y'all love me as a brother, but if Jesus Christ walked in this room, y'all want, hey, look, Robby, I love you. I'm going over here and say that to you.
But that doesn't mean that we are decreasing as your sister.
The value is less.
Hey, man, y'all know like what I'm saying. It is what it is. We
Take
can
your
go to the next
fingers
guy.
down.
We're all on the same page.
You gotta get on. Let me put
I
it
get what you're saying.
let me put it in terminology for you. Let's put it in football terminology for you. Let's compare Ravens quarterbacks. How great Joe Flacco is and how great Lamar is now.
Yes, Joe Flacco is less valuable than Lamar Jackson.
That's not what I'm saying. Dig, let me finish. We're talking about Joe Flacco in his prime and Lamar in his prime. Who would you pick?
Lamar.
That doesn't mean Joe Flacco's prime was weak though.
It was.
Weaker than his, but not.
But not who he is as a quarterback.
I feel like that's a bad example, but Joe Flacco was trash compared to
You're still not understanding. Next question.
When they meet
No,
separately.
Okay, if you take
You
Lamar
get what I'm
Jackson,
saying?
okay, if you want to use that, if you take Lamar Jackson away, just look. I mean, but that's really. I mean, I still think the same about Joe Flacco, even if you take Lamar away from him.
So he's just trash.
Yeah, he had one good.
We're just saying Joe Flacco's prime is still his prime, even though Lamar Jackson's prime is better than his.
I get that point. That still means that his value decreases when you put that person beside him.
No, his value stays the same.
Okay. Before Lamar Jackson came, we thought that Joe Flacco was the greatest thing since sliced bread as far as Ravens quarterbacks goes. And then this generational person comes around, and it's like,
but it doesn't increase what he did for the team.
It started to.
All right, let me put it like this, bro. I'm gonna go back to the diamond and root, right?
Got you.
I'm a numbers guy. I stand on business, so let's talk numbers. So if you come in, I have this diamond, right? This diamond is worth $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
You come in with a diamond that is worth a fucking, or I meant the ruby is $500,000. The diamond is worth $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ruby is still worth $500,000, right? I mean, like realistically, if I went to the store today with this ruby, dude said it's $500,000. All right. When I come after I get this diamond, if I go back to the guy, is he gonna tell me my ruby's worth any less?
Depends on who it is.
Bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
If they're being dishonest, okay, but we're saying in the perfect society, everybody's telling the truth, and everybody is, you know what I mean? Take it like you can take everybody at face value, okay? And it's hypothetical perfect world, okay?
Hey, I see what y'all saying. We about to agree to disagree.
Yeah, we gonna have to. We gonna have to. What you saying, bro?
Yeah.
That's like a mob move.
Dang. So I'm not really sure how to do this, but I guess I'll say Reese, because I like your perspective on things so far. What's your perspective on women in relationships going to the Usher or the Chris Brown concerts and taking the pictures and getting the cherries in their mouth? Like, how do you view this?
Or the little meet and greet joints.
What is that? I didn't see.
Oh, this man Soldier. So, do you want
The meet and greets?
Yeah, the meet and greet. So Chris Brown and Usher, they had meet and greets.
Let's just speed this up. Have you ever seen Boosie's meet and greets? How crazy he be in the pictures with them women.
He's not on social media. That's why I had to explain it like that.
Basically,
don't
if you
know.
was Chris Brown, you had a meet and greet. Girls would like they would kind of sexualize you in a way, take like weird pictures.
They spend a stack to
Yes,
go take a
like
picture
take
of that
pictures.
bitch.
What type of picture we talking?
Crazy, it don't matter.
Like he'll be hugging her from the back or putting the booty on him, like making it look like that's
Some
her
of them
man.
kids, some of them.
Like hold on, 'cause the purpose of
How
this.
you and Armani take pictures, that's how they take pictures with Chris Brown. And that's Usher feeding the cherry to the shorty.
Boy, ain't no way. Ain't no way in fuck shrimp.
Married women go to Usher's concerts and do stuff like that. Like a woman.
If you want a man who does that, then go get one.
Well, let that matter. Miss shit.
Or this is like, all right. So one thing, like
So
man.
it's cool for her to do that because her man don't do it.
No, let me hold on. Let's scratch that.
Okay.
On Think Like a Man, Steve Harvey was like, so the Taraji, the character Taraji played, she wanted a man on a list. He's like, you're not gonna necessarily get a man that hits all those things on that list, but you can basically not coach him to be with the man you want him to be, but you can get him to do the things that satisfy you so that y'all are both satisfied. So if you want that done to you, go tell your man that you want that done to you. You don't get to go, like, okay, I get it, you fan girl over Chris Brown or Usher, I get it, their music, how they look, whatever you like, I get that. Tell your man to do that. Cause me, I look on social media, see my girl. Your bag is outside. Everything you want is in the box to the left.
Boy, ain't no way you want it.
It's like married, like I don't know. To me, especially if you're in not whatever Christian you are, the Lord works on you different ways. But Christians that go there and that might happen to them, or they might go take those exclusive pictures. What about your vows that you said?
Oh boy. I'm still sure things are wrong. It's crazy.
Like, you took vows with your man, y'all united under God, united as one under God.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that you're doing, okay, because if your man went and did that,
Talk about it.
uh-oh.
Talk about it.
Because if your man went and did that, then it's a whole different topic. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. I think it's a double standard. Now, seriously though, like that's a whole other topic. But they find that stuff cute when females do it, but then when men do it, it's
oh man, niggas ain't it. You know what I mean? I knew he wasn't nothing. He been out cheating, did that before I knew. I'm gay now. I can't listen to him. Yeah, I don't want no more man. I'm gay.
He for everybody. I was never his type. I should have listened to my brother.
He's in disbelief, bro. Like you telling me.
Like you have a whole ring on, probably going to these concerts. I know you put it in the trash because if you get lost, your makeup, but like, so where you leave that on that counter in that bathroom at that hotel.
Yup.
NASTEE.
What you really saying, bro?
I'm just like, so if y'all don't know, you feel me? I tore my ACL and everything on my right knee, so I'll be a damn fool. I get on my bad knee. You tripping to give Shawty a ring. Say my vows, we getting married. I spent all this type of money. Fuck the money. Ain't no fucking way, bro. Like if y'all just, yo, I swear to God, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I smash, bro.
I'm not gonna lie though. My phone.
I was smash, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like that's beyond trifling. How you married and you jiggling these cherries or you motherfucking man ain't no way you eating these cherries out. Man, what the fuck? You got me bent. Yo, I'm going out too.
I'm not gonna lie though. If there was just not even all that much money included, like, if they was just take a regular, side shoulder hug, cool, take that picture. But the extra, that's it.
First of all, I'll be damned if my girl pay a stack.
I didn't say
I'm just talking about me. If my girl pay a stack to take a picture with another nigga,
not the money. That's what I said, not the money. Like it's just.
Don't get me wrong. Like you a fan, whatever you want.
I'm say like a regular little picture. That extra, the
money.
money.
A stack.
I don't know what she was doing. It was imagining whipped cream or something.
40 hours worth of money.
Bro, fuck that. She just paid for a divorce right there. Fuck you seen it. Yeah, that stack was a divorce. Go ahead and sign afterwards, cause nah, bro.
Man, you got me. What's your perspective? Light skin?
Boxing.
Mellow yellow?
I said boxing.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like the money, that part's crazy. Like, I have a friend, we're not gonna name any names, who was like, oh yeah. She was like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about going. I said, for what? Oh, I just loved him forever. And I was going to the meet and greet. The what? The what?
She got a minute? I'm not for me. I just want to know, like, was she in a relationship when she was saying that?
Oh, no. She was.
I mean, I think that's fine then.
She was.
If you single, do your big one. We talking about the people in a relationship.
That's why she's
not in a relationship.
So like she was in like they had just broke up, but like they were talking to get back together. Right? And she was trying to, like, oh, I want to make him mad because I guess, I don't know, something.
Oh, so she was trying to be spiteful. Oh, yeah, see, that part.
You know what I mean?
That part. You know what I would have did to her? What she want?
So, like, to me, it's like, I don't, outside of, like we said, being nasty, just,
And no money, not paying for it.
like,
Free picture.
Like, and especially if you have a man, and
Oh,
you know stuff like this is gonna be posted on social media, like you just don't care about your relationship. Honestly, that's what that says to me. Like you don't care about your relationship. Especially how like popular social media is in today's age. You know that somebody's gonna get a video, a picture, something, and it's going to be on the internet.
I'm not gonna lie though. Say I'm a fool, but if she paid that stack to go take a picture with her like favorite artist, I'm not necessarily tripping. Let's look at how much concert tickets and motherfuckers were paying that bitch faithful. So if you want to take a picture, okay. I'm not gonna trip. Especially like if we got the money for real and it's within the budget, you wanna go meet your favorite artist, whatever it is, cool. all that other shit. I mean, the pictures too. You know what I mean? You want to take a picture? Cool. Now you putting your ass on him. You have to put that flame on you.
That's tricky. I'm tripping. You paying a stack to take a picture with somebody?
Hey,
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right, let me ask you this: would you pay a stack to go to the Ravens game, courtside? I mean, not courtside, like right up there with all the people. The fact that you have to think about it is what I'm saying, bro. Some people is willing to pay that bread.
It's different though. He's meeting multiple people. You're meeting one.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It's how you value these people. Oh, I love all these people. I love the team, right? That's the team. People could be a one-man team. You feel me? Because people pay hundreds of dollars just to buy a ticket to be in the crowd. For real. You're in the crowd with all these musty people.
So you're gonna pay $500 to go, and then a stack on top of that. So $1,500 to take a picture. You know, bringing the perspective. That's cool. I think I'm just still thinking about the meet and greet part. Like you got me
Are
chopping
we
that part.
excluding the meet and greet for this?
Yeah, it's just a regular picture for a stack. Is that what you
picture
saying?
for a stack? No, like, okay, when we say meet and greet, you mean all crazy
Yeah,
shit.
that's what we talking about. You're talking about.
Yeah, she gives you a picture or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. If it was something like that, I think I would actually get the bread. Like if it's just a
you
regular
know what I
picture,
mean?
I think I might
If
actually.
you wilding out, like, yeah, you want to put cherries in your
Wilding out.
mouth, I got some big cherries for you. What are you talking about?
All right.
Like, yeah.
Next question.
Next
Next question.
Next
Let's go, Larry.
Alright, this says who you putting first. So I'm assuming this is the who you putting first, like your significant other, or is it like the parent?
Yeah. So who you putting first? For y'all, who you putting first? What did it say? Your significant other, your significant other, your dad, or your brother. Like like who? What's the hierarchy of who comes
You
first
just
in
said
that order?
My significant other, my dad, and my brother.
No, my bad. I messed that up. Your
son.
Yeah, son. Your significant other, your
My
father, or your
significant
son.
other, my son, and then my father.
Why?
This is funny. So, let's talk about this with a car. We could just be out there. And we're talking about how it says it in the Bible, like you're supposed to leave your parents. Like, when a bird is born, you know it has to leave the nest and go make its own nest. So then if his priority is having a baby, making a baby, then having a baby. So his priority then is coordinating. Alright, back to humans because I can't think. It would be making sure me and my significant other just have a great relationship, because if we can't have a great relationship, how am I going to be able to provide for my child? And then my parents. Aisha Curry and Steph Curry say they prioritize their relationship over the children. They make sure they have a two-parent household. They make sure they love each other. Everything good, behind closed doors, open doors, around people, private, public, don't matter. I feel like that makes lots of sense, because if they good and the kids see they good, then they can give that love and that nurture to their children. Because their parents are good.
I agree.
You have anything before Soldier goes?
I mean, I agree with everything that she was saying. I really like the bird analogy, yeah, because, right, like, once you leave your mother's nest to go make your own nest, you never go back to your mother's nest.
You could go get a little groceries or something, but you ain't gonna stay there for good with your family.
Honestly, yeah, basically, like, I feel like I see a lot where people are like, oh, I'm gonna prioritize my mother or my father over my significant other and my child, and that's always been kind of like confusing to me, because it's like, your mother, right, she lived her life. She went to school, she went to college if she did, or whatever it is that they did. They had their kids, you know what I mean? They had their significant other, or had, you know what I mean? Why are you prioritizing them over building a life of your own, over making sure that your family is good? And then, you know, spouse over child, just because, like she said, like, if y'all's relationship is good, right, you're modeling to your children what they should, how they should be, you know what I mean, in a relationship to other people. They see how y'all interact, you know what I mean, together, and then even outside the home. I feel like your mother is, you know what I mean, God forbid, eventually not going to be here. Your child or your spouse is in a perfect world.
Now, personally, in that order, it would be probably my kids, my wife, and my mom. You feel me? Now, I'm big on family. I love my mom, hands down. Crashing out about that. But at the same time, it is like, you know, like she lives her life, she got to do whatever, you feel me, cards was dealt to her, I got to do the same. Now, my wife and kids. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying that, when I say this, it's like, I believe fully that I can, like, my top priority is my kid. Once I bring a kid in this world, it's like, hey, you know, some people don't agree with this, but once I bring a kid in this world, it is my responsibility to make sure they are straight, everything is good, mentally, physically, all that. I do whatever I can to make sure that that kid is good. And that's why I prioritize them over my wife. Now, does that mean, you feel me, if my kid is having a bad day and my wife is, you feel me, mentally breaking down, that I'm going to choose my kid every time? No, I feel like there's times to choose your kid, there's times to choose your wife, you feel me, it's just how you go about it. But I feel like overall, yeah, I'm prioritizing my kid. Like, I'm not going to neglect my wife, you know, if she comes to me, I feel neglected, I'm going to do what I can to try to change that and all that, but I still feel like my kids, that's the number one priority. Like, at any point in given time, for real, like, if my wife calls me, hey, my car broke down, I need you to come get me. Alright. My son calls me, Dad, my car broke down, I need you to come get me. Unless, wherever, like, the other one, like let's say my wife, where her car broke down, you feel me, is very ghetto, like her life could be in danger, then I'm gonna go get her. But realistically, I'm gonna go grab my kid, then I'm gonna grab my wife. And it's also like, you're more grown than the kid. It's like, at the end of the day, that's how I see it. It's up to us to deal with the bullshit. Like that's on us who chose to have this kid. So okay, there may be some bullshit in the way, but that's up to us to deal with that. Which is how I see it.
I see your points. I just don't agree with you. I'm with my wife is over my kid, and I think I'll just simplify it for this for me. My spouse needs more attention and energy than my relationship with my spouse needs more attention and energy than my kids in totality. Now I do feel like, you know, excluding all extremes, like the example you give is good, like I agree with all that. But like taking out all the extremes on the day to day, like, and I agree, like, you know, like that is like we've been saying, like that doesn't mean that, oh, my kids, you know what I mean, I'm just gonna neglect them or nothing like that. Like those are extremes. Like on the day to day, like I need to make sure that, like Reese was saying, like me and my wife is good. If we are good, that takes away, like, if my kid is bad, like that's a quick boom, you know what I mean, versus if I'm doing something with my wife, we arguing, that could take a lot more out of me than it would if my kid was being bad or like I disciplined them. Like that's a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but more like, you know, like I'm the authority figure. Like this is what it is. Now once they become teenagers, you know, they're assholes. That's a little bit different, you know what I mean? But as kids, like it's like, all right, like I'm the authority figure, this is what it is. Versus my wife, like we're a team. We gotta make sure that the team captains gotta make sure that they're on point. If the team, me as a team captain of the football team, and I can say this wholeheartedly, my senior year of football, when I had a bad game, we lost, right? If Darion had a bad game, we lost. Jay Zellon had a bad game, we lost. But if we make sure that we're straight, everybody looks at us, and then the team comes together. It's like, okay, Rob just scored a touchdown, let me go smack somebody. You feel me? All right, come on, go get the ball. He going, you know what I mean? I'm name dropping people, that's crazy. But you know, he gonna get the ball. Like I just feel like the heads are straight. You know what I mean? Our relationship is good. Then that puts us in a better place to be able to make sure that our kids are straight.
I don't fully agree.
Why?
Alright, so if we're going off of the same analogies, right? We'll go backwards. Football, right? So you telling me you have multiple team captains, but if one team captain is having a bad day, y'all losing the game.
Yes.
Your ass.
Nah, that's the effect that the team captain has.
Hey, bro, that's a lot, bro. If you're a team captain, you're supposed to be that. You feel me? You're supposed to be above them because one, whatever you do, you're outside. Like you're supposed to lead and whatever. So if one captain is having a bad day, if your wife is having a bad day, you gonna let the whole house crash, or you gonna take that step forward and pull her with you?
It's not gonna crash, but that I need to make sure that she's straight. It is a more likely possibility that things are gonna go right if me and her are straight versus if, and don't get me wrong, like if she's sick or something, then obviously I gotta step up. But if we're having problems in our relationship, that is going to like you can have the man, you can be perfect with that. We're humans. We are flawed. It shows. It shows. You can feel the energy in the room, even if you do your best to hey, look, you know what I mean? Me, you get on the phone, you hey, look, girl, let's talk business. I can tell that y'all having issues. Because your energy, and it's not, and we still get stuff done, but it's not to the same magnitude as if y'all are good. If y'all was good, you hop on that phone, it was good, bro, it was good, too bad, it was good, too. What it is versus, if you hit with that too, I know things is good. Hop on the phone, it was good, bro. Oh, hell. What is going on? Oh, man.
Alright, let me ask you this one, right?
Okay.
Your wife comes into the house, she's crying. Then your kid comes into the house, she's crying.
I feel like that's an extreme, though. I mean, that's kind of easy to decipher. I'm talking about.
Let me put it like this for you.
Yeah.
Because you said the whole disciplining your kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about the authority figure. Do you feel like that's all the father is?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is on the day to day. If you want to pull the extremes, I feel like those are, what I mean.
I don't feel like that's extreme. Mental health is real. People go.
But that's not a people. I mean, people could, but those are moments on a regular day. If things, you're just going through the week, right? We're not talking about if the car breaks down. Cars don't break down every day unless you got a bucket. You know what I mean? The crying, kids cry because they're kids, but a real issue. Excluding all those, on a day to day, it's hey, look, me and my wife are good, then we can tackle this. You know what I mean? If our heads are straight, which it's not going to be every day, but at least if we're on the same page about where we're at. Then we go, hey, look, the kids are good, cool, you know what I mean? Then maybe at the end of the day, I can call my mom. Hey, what's good? You good, minister? You don't want to talk right now? It's this way.
I still feel like that's bullshit. And I feel like that because, one, your relationship with your wife is your relationship with your wife. Your relationship with your kids is your relationship with your kids. You feel me? So it's that I understand what you're saying. If me and my wife is good, this, that, and the fourth, we're going to this, that, and the, but it's also alright, that's your seed, you feel me? That's your kid. You're on a day-to-day, right? So if it's on a day-to-day, you're talking excluding all the problems, excluding this, so on a day-to-day basis, you're saying that you prioritize your wife's relationships over your kids' relationship.
Yeah.
So you telling me, you and your wife got an issue. Your kid wants to spend time with you, they having whatever, this, that, and the fourth. You still going, if you and your wife been arguing for a week, that whole week you on bad terms.
I'm going to try to make sure that John is straight.
And before you take care of your kids?
I mean, the kids are going to be taken care of, but you talk about if they're hey, Dad, I want to come, well, hold on. Give me a second, go watch TV real quick. You need to talk to your mom for a second. That takes precedence. I'm not leaving that argument to, you know what I mean, to go, because then at the same time, and this is not what it is, but this is what it looks like. If emotions are high, let's say if it's not the kids, right? If you and Armani are arguing, and y'all in the middle of an argument and I call, y'all heated and I call, if you hang up and don't talk to me, that looks bad, even though that's not the intent. You know what I mean? We have that type of relationship stuff, but it's nigga, you really gonna hang up right now in the middle of this? That's just as adults, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Versus if they call me yeah, they're important. Mm-hmm. But if I'm in the middle of art, this needs to get taken care of. And all the time, not all the time, but this is the topic. not all the time, but for the most part, it's look, this takes precedence in this moment. Just because, that goes back to the value of the relationship. Your wife, y'all are one. You or me, I am you. I gotta take care of me and you. And if I'm not straight, yeah, you can still take care of other people, but you have a greater chance of succeeding if things are at 92% versus 65%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't disagree. I get what you're saying, bro, but it's just gonna be another topic. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree because, maybe this is just because of how my life was. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, bro, my kids above all else. You know what I mean? I'm willing, just like I'm willing to die for my wife, I'm willing to die for my kids. But, and I'm not talking about during giving birth, you feel me? In the choice if I have to choose between my wife or kid. Because at that, you know what I mean? Like, we talk about that another day. But if I have to choose to take a bullet for my 5-year-old son or take a bullet for my wife, I'm taking a bullet for my son.
Those extremes are like that. That's why I said like it's still in the extreme, because if you go through it like that, it's like that's a, you know, but like on like a lesser like, or even if you do say like an argument, you know what I mean, or something like that, or just something like, I don't know, like, yeah, I guess we just not really agree to disagree. Like, I just feel like, you know, yeah.
But I also feel like it's also in the moment, whichever I feel like when I try to decipher, like, which problem is greater. That's probably what I'm going to try to deal with most. You know what I mean? Because, yes, I say my kids over my wife, but if my kids are mad or crying because they scraped their knee, I'm not saying I'm going to blow off the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it's like if there's something wrong, I am going to take time away from that conversation to, are you okay? Like, what is it? And then once I decipher which is greater, okay, you know what, let me talk to you a little bit later. Or, okay, excuse me. Or, okay, you know what, let's handle this now. You keep it a buck. Because if whenever my kid comes to me, if I feel like that problem is greater than an argument, because at the end of the day, if I'm married to you, it is death row, motherfucker. So we're gonna rock out to the end of time. So I'm gonna put this argument on hold, and we gonna handle this until I can handle this. You know, I'm gonna come back to you, babe. I'm sorry. I know you're mad about this, but like it's the way I see it. I'm willing to be like, I'm sorry before you know, stopping the conversation midway or whatever. But like the way I see it, if that's greater, bro, I'm gonna handle that.
Hey, I hope that worked out for you, boy.
I do too. Praise God.
Next topic. The difference between the way that men's body counts are viewed and women's body counts are viewed. Oh yeah, you started first. You started first because the way you did your face. Go ahead, big dog. Talk about it.
Oh my god. This is, oh my gosh, I can argue this should have been my hill diamond. Oh my god. Because it's so crazy to me because, I'm not gonna name names, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
I'm naming names.
A male friend, right, that we all know, right, has like, I remember we were graduating high school, right, and I was told like, oh, he's got over 100 bodies, and in my head I'm thinking, yuck. But everybody was like, oh no, he's tough, like he's that guy, da da da. But if a girl has over 10 bodies, oh, she's a whore, she's so green, and you know, like she easy, you know, like, you know what I mean, her, I'm trying to be familiar right now. But like her coochie wide, like it's so boring.
I'm sorry, Pastor Tim. I'm sorry, Mom.
Listen,
Dad,
I apologize.
Miss Tanner, Mr. Richard, on Red, Uncle Sam, Simon,
I
Darius.
apologize.
I'm so sorry.
I don't apologize for nothing. I'm trying to be good, but Lord, oh my God, it's like men are seen as like heroes. It's seen as like another experience. And I've seen this thing, like I keep seeing this video where guys will be like, oh, if a key opens many locks, that's a big key. But if you can open, hold on, right? That's big. Right, but if every key can open one lock, it's a bad lock.
I guess I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like trying to compare men and women, but it's like, I don't. So what? Men have the master key, and then ladies only have about the main key and the spare key. Like they're like trying to say like, oh, this key can open, but like I feel like that's nasty. Like if you take, I don't know, like if you got 5 glasses of water, and I dip my finger in all of them 5 glasses of water, you gonna drink that? You have dirt on your hands.
Actually, I feel like that analogy is actually opposite.
I'm about to say that. I feel like that more so works for the women versus the.
Because it's like if you're a guy, right, not to cut you off, right, my finger, right, I'm dipping it into multiple glasses of water. Now you're like,
oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe the finger dirty, so now you're tainting all them different
Right.
But the thing is, even with that, it still goes in.
Oh, but that does because
You know what I
because
mean?
now the women's tainted the finger.
Exactly.
The finger.
Because if you look at it, right, You're talking about the one finger. Now, if 10 guys come and dip their finger in this one cup, you gonna drink that, or you gonna drink the one with the one?
You don't want neither, but if you have to choose.
I don't, but my thing is like, okay, the water is not dirty before you dip in there, right? And if you're dipping in all these different people,
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Here's my perspective. I thought we were arguing. Here's how I look at it, right? Dang, I lost my thought. Hold on, give me a second. The thing with like the difference between men and women, it's like it's easy for women to get men. Like it is not that hard. Like men do not have the same access to women unless you're successful as women do to men. Like it is like I'm pretty sure if you go through your phone or if you just walk through the mall, 10 niggas gonna try to holler at you. And it's like if you really want to, you can get it all them. You know, I do not have that same luxury. And I'm not saying that makes it right or wrong. I'm just saying this is the reality of the situation. Like women can it don't matter. And so why am I saying that? Like it is easy for y'all to have sex with guys versus it's way easier for y'all to have sex with guys than it is for men to have sex with women. And so that's why I feel like it's looked at as worse because it's like if you have sex with 100 dudes, like that just is what it is. Like niggas gonna holler at you all day. If I have like the work, you do not have to find out a nigga's favorite color in order like you do that, and you know, like you don't gotta find out that dude's favorite color. Like you don't gotta figure out their zodiac sign, which I don't agree with those ideologies. But like, it's a whole bunch of steps we gotta get to just to even get a phone number. Versus you walk up to a dude, you know, and they gonna follow you.
but I feel like, okay, so with the initial like high body count stuff like that, wouldn't it? Not saying that's okay, but wouldn't it make more sense that women would have higher body counts since it, as you said, is easier for us to sleep with a guy, get with a guy, eat just whatever. Like I feel like with your logic, right? Wouldn't that just make sense? Cool, she has more opportunities. Not saying that she should go, because, but like
you don't get a trophy for doing something that's easy.
Not like a trophy, but like I'm not saying like they just
submission trophies all the time.
I mean, I get what you're saying though, but I feel like, alright, so it's like, in a sense, yes, it would make sense for a girl to have more bodies, right? So you look at it like okay, it's easy for that, right? But if it's harder for men to do that, right? So if you went out and you slayed 1,000 goblins, they're goblins, you know what I mean? It's whatever, it's some light shit. Now I went out and I slayed 1,000 dragons. You're not touching me, you feel me? I'm just saying, like, a dragon and a goblin, it's not so, with men, as Robby was saying, like, most men have to put in more work. That's why it's looked at, oh, he's hard, he's this, because he put in the work, or he has the capability to do what seems to be hard. Now, do I feel like it's that whole thing? You know, we'll talk about that shit later. But just in the sense he was saying, though, it's like, yeah, if it's easier for you to do something, right? So, for instance, success is not easy. So when you look at successful people, like it's something to talk about, something to brag about, versus, you know, just easy to go work.
If I dunk on 100 first graders, man, I dunked on 100 first graders. Man, if you don't get your bum at versus if I dunk on 100 NBA players.
so like okay, I get y'all's point. I understand where you're coming from, right? But I still feel like. Not saying that either one should have more or like, I feel like, what does it matter? I feel like if you want to get with this person, there's a reason you want to get with this person, right? And her body count or whatever may reflect that. If it's a really attractive person and they have a higher body count or whatever case may be, male or female, right? But if it's a guy, he's not a go?
No, he's a go.
Nah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like I don't agree with that. because I don't feel like it's equal one. But I think more so like me personally, like, so I'm not necessarily saying that like my woman has to be a virgin. That's not what I'm looking for. But it's just like, just going on what I was saying, like, you let all these dudes have this access to you, like, and like that just like don't, like, let's say if we get to like, so let's put a hypothetical in. If we get to a certain point, first of all, I don't want to be like him. I'm good. Like, that's just me. Like, you know, like, and your character speaks on your body count anyway. Like, you can tell who has high body counts or low just based on, you know, their character. But I feel like for me, it's just like the kind of the same thing to what you're saying. Like, me personally, like, I just don't want a girl that's been ran through. Like, you get, like, it's just, you got a whole bunch of guys that just, you know what I mean? Especially, like, yeah, that's just not desirable in a way. It's, you know what I mean? Because it's like, for me, like, especially in a relationship, I feel more like if I can dog you on the first night, what are you worth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want somebody that, like, your value is not in your body. Like, can we have a conversation, right? Can we? And so if I can dog you on the first night, that means that dude yesterday can dog you on the first night, and the dude tomorrow can dog you on the first night. Versus if it takes me some time to really get to know you, and that shows me that you value your body. If you dog if a woman got ran through 100 dudes, you don't value yourself. I don't feel like you don't value yourself, and you know it could be some other touchy subject, you know, traumatized childhood, this, that, and the fourth. You know, that's cute. But you don't value yourself, and that's not somebody that I would like, that I would want to be seen in public with. That somebody doesn't value, or just even forget all that. I wouldn't want to be with somebody that doesn't value themselves because I value myself, and even. You know what I mean? I don't think it's cool for guys to have that type of high body count. You know what I mean? Because I value myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's that. Okay, good.
Hypothetical, right?
Got you.
You're with a girl that is 30,
Copy.
right? And let's say, you know, in a perfect world, people wouldn't be having sex this young. But let's say she starts having sex at 16.
Mm-hmm.
And she has sex with one person every year. At 30, that's 14 people. You're telling me that's high?
I would think about it. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. I would think about it.
If you break something with getting 5 years.
That's true. I mean, but the work is not the same. But now let's go back to your hypothetical. If she led with I got 14 bodies, I would like look like this. But if she started like, hey, like I've been one person a year, okay, all right, you know what I mean? That's all right, you know what I mean? Still kind of, was your raw dog and all? Was your raw dog and all?
That's important.
So I feel like between girls starting at 16 and having 14 bodies at 30 years.
The effort that it took for me to get those, it's not the same. The effort is not the same.
Yeah, I'm so dumb.
It's not. That's the reality of the situation. It goes back to what I said. It's easier for you to have sex with a guy than it is for me to have sex with a woman. That's the point.
Okay.
That is true,
So
but
you're
when it took to
saying
get there, it's not the same.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, like her ability to be able to sleep with that man. But who is saying that because it's easy that she's sleeping with all these men? Okay, like 14 a year, I would say, right, you can definitely start a relationship and in today's time be intimate within a year in a relationship. Cool. So let's to half a year. Sooner than that. Listen, okay, in a week's time, honestly, they together tomorrow or before they together. You know what I mean? So like, she could be in a relationship doing all these things, right? Oh, I'm gonna think about it. But if a guy comes to you, like, when they got together, right, let's put it in this scenario, right? She had 14 bodies. No, listen, hypothetical. She came to him, right? Oh, I got 14 bodies. He probably, but if you came to him, oh, you know, I got 14 bodies.
Because you're taking away what it took to get there. It's not so much the number. It's not just the figure. The figure is not the only thing. You can't just be like, oh, it's just a number. There's variables that go with that. All of that is why it matters. It's not just the number that matters. it's how you got to that number is what matters.
But like, my point is like, when it's a man, you don't care how you got there. Oh no, oh that's tough. Like, oh, that's so great. Like, you're a man. But when it's a girl, it's like you're a hoe. Unless you know, well, they were in relationships. Oh, well, I guess it's not that bad now. Like, why does that? Why?
When y'all have that conversation, if he comes to me, if he's like, bro, I just told this girl, how did you get there? If somebody came to you and they're like, oh yeah, what did he do for you? Oh, he did this, that, before. It's like, because the whole thing is that the point is that he's supposed to do all this to show you that he's worth it, right? Like, he has to do it, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can let him into that. Like, it's not even good.
Does the conversation change if you're a 30-year-old man with 14 bodies and you have a woman who's waiting for marriage? Now when she's looking at you crazy, like, I've been saving myself and I'm meeting a man who's just been.
But he hasn't just been. It takes a while to get there. It's not just like he just got there.
Okay. They're on the same time frame. They slept, 30-year-old man, 30-year-old woman. They both got 14 bodies. Both started at 14, it's done once a year. Hypothetically, it's the same day every year, same circumstances.
It's not the day, it's how you get the body. That's the point.
Same circumstances.
What you mean?
You don't never
Like-
be the same.
Yeah, go ahead. Why you feel like it's not the same?
Well, you can never be the same circumstances because the work you're doing is the same. Now, I'm saying all this, and I want to really say this. I don't give a fuck about the number. I'm keeping it up. What I do care about is how you got that number, right? So, hypothetical question you put me in. She came to me, I got $14. First of all, I'm not gonna actually make a crazy face or like be surprised. Like, in this day and age, motherfuckers be going. What I want to know is how. You feel me? Like, did you was you just going? Was it kind of like you know what I mean? You were safe with it? Like, that's what I want to know. Because I don't really care about the number. I feel like it is what it is. Like, yeah, I really don't care that much. Like, as long as you're not like burned, you know what I mean? And like, it's not no stick down the hallway. Like, you feel me? I couldn't care less. I really couldn't.
Yeah, personally, I don't care. But I'm not gonna act like that. That it's the same because it's not.
Well, what do you mean?
Like the way that the body counts are viewed, like.
Oh no, it's not the same. I mean, society made it that way though. Cause I mean, and I agree with what you're saying in a sense of like, it's viewed different because the amount of work that took to get there, in a sense of like, okay, someone who got like, you know, their dad or whatever was rich, their inheritance made them rich. You know, that person, like, yeah, I'm rich. You can say I'm rich, but like, what did you do to get rich? You know, you didn't do shit. Like, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Versus someone who got that shit smooth out the mud. You gonna look at that person like, you really grinded your ass off. You really, like, it's different. You know what I mean? Now, it's a sad case, but that's how the world is.
I mean, but that's real though. Like, if you gave me $1 million versus Reese created businesses, she's out here grinding, blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we both got $1 million, but we're gonna look at her like, yo, like, you really like did
Show
it.
me the one.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But she's gonna look at me like, I mean, like, but she was handed to you, like, and I feel like that's the way, like, that body's handed to you because versus like we had to like stop damn. You said what?
I said that sounds bad.
I mean, but like if you want to be real, like what do you have to do to get a body versus say that you want to? You telling me a dude gonna play the part? If you walk up to a dude and you like, I want to, yeah.
Robby, I feel like you're thinking of dudes like they are you. These dudes are sassy.
Bro, they're
Robby,
lying to you. They're lying
Robby,
to you.
Robby. These dudes are sassy, Robby. They wanna, can you pay for this? Like, hold on.
What you like? Is it a relationship or like?
No. Like, not in a relationship. We just getting together. I really stopped talking to a guy like a couple months ago, more than a couple months ago now, because like when he first approached me, it was, oh, I want to pursue you, but then at the end it was, oh, why are you not pursuing me? And it's like, well, you said that you wanted to pursue me. You're not putting in any effort. I didn't slide up in nobody's DM. Cool. So like, if you're gonna put that effort, cool. Like you decided to put that effort. That had nothing to do with me.
You didn't tell him that though. If he wants to pursue you, but you're not interested.
Not that I wasn't interested, right? But like, he was, I want to pursue you, but then I was the only one reaching out, and I would like if I did not call. Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Interest back. If he's
Right
giving
now,
effort,
he wasn't. That's the point that I'm making. It was, I want to pursue you, but then there was no effort put. If I did not call that man, I wouldn't hear from him for hours on end, sometimes days on end. If I did not reach out, I wouldn't hear from him. But then now that he's not hearing from me, now he's, oh, why are you not talking to me? What's going on?
why does that solely have to be on him just because he wants to pursue you? If y'all both interested, then y'all both put in effort.
I want to say something towards what she was saying, right? Now, as you're telling this stuff, right? I'm not gonna lie, it just sounds like what girls be doing. Like point blank, it's that give and take, like point blank, like you get with a girl, she wants you to do all this stuff or this, that, and forth. A girl can slide up in your DMs, you sexy, you this, you feel me, where you from, whatever, but then it turns into, what can you do for me, nigga? How can you help me? It's the same difference. That nigga, I'm pursuing you, you're not showing me nothing? Oh, okay, cool.
I feel like that's what I mean.
Question.
That's what I mean. These guys, like, cool, get everything that I want from you, but I'm also not going to, just me. I'm not going to beg you for the things that I'm going to tell you once, maybe twice. Hold on, can I finish my statement? I'm going to tell you once, twice, maybe 3 times, but I'm not going to keep begging you over and over and over. Oh, babe, sorry, I'm going to try harder next time. I'm not going to keep doing it. That's just something I'm not going to do.
Question. Back to the original topic. So you telling me that if you walk in, let's not even go there. If you told that dude that you want him to come over, he's gonna reject it because you ain't pay nothing, or he gonna come over. That is already on the way.
We're flat tire. No.
And then you ride a pigeon.
But like, okay, I feel like just because like that should not be. I feel like that's only because the man's fault. That's not my fault. That he's.
That's the point though. If he told you to come over, you're gonna. Are you sending me gas money? How am I getting there? Are you gonna come pick me up? Versus
if it's a nigga that I really, excuse my language. If it's a man that I really want to see, then the gas money, all that. No, I'm not gonna gas him for that because if I'm asking to come see you.
No. Okay, I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, it's not that like general. Like if a guy, okay, let me go to my extreme then. If you walk in that room bucket naked, you know, you walk in that room butt naked, he turn you down? Hell no. And nothing you say is gonna make that nigga gay. If he's not gay, he is not turning that down. Versus if a dude walk into a room button, oh my gosh, you're perfect. Come on now. Now, like if you're in a relationship, yeah. But like if the dude he walk into the room button, like come on, you look at him like what you want.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. But I also feel like you're thinking of one specific. Like I don't think that this is all men everywhere.
That I'm not speaking for all men. I'm saying that's the point though. But there are men that do that. That's the point. We don't gotta say 100% because I don't know everybody. But men, the men that I'm talking about, these like that's what it is. If a girl say, what's going on right now? Hey, look, like I said, I'm not in a relationship, but I'm off the market. If Shorty touch me right now, I want you to come over. We're in this podcast. I'm hopping in that Mazda.
Gross.
And that's y'all later.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. I also feel like that's like my type of person. Like, right, being said, I spend on bitch. So we doing this podcast, she telling me come over, I'm coming over when I'm done. You feel me? It depends on the type of nigga. Now, I do like get what you're saying. Like it is like how you're saying for most people, you know what I mean? But like I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like it is like niggas do chase more. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like in a sense. So when Shorty texts you, come over, you ready to be on your way. But then she was taught to play hard to get or do that whole give and take. So that's why I always find it funny when girls be like, oh, he's so this, I can't stand this, but it's like, he ain't doing nothing.
Because he's not that valuable. Only high value men are chased. And I'm talking about the dudes, that are, you know, I mean, okay, I'm not talking about the little small percentages that are not in that bracket. But for the most part, like those are the ones, the niggas that are pulling up in the Audis and the Rolls Royce, the dudes that, you know, just like me, but you know, a lot better. You know what I mean? Like those, the NFL players, the Chris Browns, the Ushers, they pay $1,000 to go to the concert and stuff.
Like cherries and shit.
I
Yeah.
feel like that may also be the type of girls that you choose to.
I'm not talking about man, look, women period. Man, you just damn
I mean, okay, men in general, I feel like it's the type of women that men try to be with, which I feel like, and I just had this conversation the other day. Oh my God. Like, if I get with a man, right, and before we got together, right, let's say I have a 6-figure job, so I'm used to vacationing for a week straight. I'm used to eating at 5-star restaurants. You know, I have a very nice apartment, very nice car. You know what I mean? I'm used to going to the gym every day and eating a certain way and buying certain clothes and living a certain lifestyle. If you come in making $50,000 a year, right, and you're like, oh, we can only live to my means, I'm not.
But what about all the other women like flip it? What about, because you were saying, you know, the high success man, and it's like, but it's like a girl cannot have shit, not a car, not no goddamn money in her bank account, not no whatever, but she still expects, you feel me, a nigga to do all that. Well, you can want what you want, but let's be for real though. Cause like,
you can't be mad for yourself, but you want me to do it. But here's the thing though.
Okay.
But here's the thing though. I'm not expecting you to be able to do that. That like, you know, people like double standards. It is a double standard. That's life. That is the world we live in. Like I can give a damn if a girl got a 6-figure job or not, because like that has nothing to do with me.
Understood, but I feel like that's also just the male and female brain. Women, a lot of women, especially women nowadays, right, are taught like your man's supposed to take care of you. Like, yes, take care of, like, you know, independent black women. A lot of girls were taught that, right? Do for yourself. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have nobody, right? But then it's also like a lot of women were taught like, oh, you need a man to take care of you, right? So that is what is expected of a man. If I'm going to a man, if I'm getting a man, right? What I was taught from, not speaking about me, but like what a lot of women were taught from their mothers was, you need to rely on a man, you need a man to take care of you. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be working, you should just be at home taking care of the kids, or, you know what I mean, doing what you want, and your man is supposed to be bringing home the bread, right? And men, in that same breath, were taught, you know, I need to make a lot of money and I need to have myself settled so that I can take care of my women and my family. So I feel like that's like, neither party like should be penalized, right, for what was instilled in them as children, or just like societal norms.
I don't believe in that.
Believe in what?
What she was saying about you shouldn't be penalized for what she was taught.
How would that be anybody's fault?
So the reason I disagree with that, now, this might be extreme, but it's like, okay, you're taught that, right? But it's like, you also have a mind for your own. You know what I mean? Like, you can think on your own. Like, you're like, well, this is what I was taught, this, that, and forth. But the thing is, what I've noticed with people, this is not just females or men, it's just people in general. That whole thing, this is what I was taught, this is this, you only keep that when you want it. When that's what you want, you'll keep that. Because if you're taught something else, or taught something that's like you don't agree with, are you gonna stay with them teachings?
I mean, no, but okay. As a kid, like, know nothing, right? You know what your mother and your father instilled into you, or whoever is in your life, whoever is the person that is in charge of looking after you, whatever. Even if it's not good teachings, right? That is how you grew up. Now, yes, you can go to therapy and read books and do different things to grow and to change and to have a better mindset. Mm-hmm. But initially, yes, everybody like that, like deep-rooted programming, right? Mm-hmm. Like the whole, I'm pretty sure nobody here, to my knowledge, right, has ever like been beaten up by cops, right? But if a cop pulls up behind you, you're still gonna get a little scared in your chest a little bit, maybe. Like, you're still gonna have a little bit of worry, like, what if this is one of those? Not because you personally have experience, but because that fear was instilled in you by your parents, by whoever it was that raised you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that you had to learn. Now, can you learn that? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something that until you unlearn it, that is a learned behavior.
So you're saying like, okay, so black man, obviously you're supposed to act a certain way with the police and this, that, and before this was taught, right? So initially you see the police, you're scared, right? So you being scared is okay, right? That's what you're saying. But I also feel like, the fear or whatever knowledge you have, you feel me? Like, knowledge is power. You feel me? You can educate yourself, And it's like, at the end of the day, can the police just wild out? Like, I've had cops draw guns on me. I've had cops do some crazy shit, you feel me? Pull me out the car. Ain't nobody beating on me, shit, but he pull me out the car, yeah. But at the same time, though, it's like, it's the same way as if I walk out that door, I can get shot. It could be a vicious person just walking, I can get shot. But does that mean I have to live my life in fear that if I walk out this door,
It's
I
not
can
living
get
life
shot?
in fear. It's you are a part of your mother, a part of your father, and your experience. You don't have to believe it. That's what it is. The foundation of what you learn is there, and it's like, yeah, as you get older, but even like scientifically, like it's easier to learn and unlearn things as a kid versus an adult. Like as you get older, it just is what it is. Now, does that make it impossible? No, that's not what we're saying. But like the magnitude it takes to unlearn those things or relearn new things, it's harder the older you get because that's just what's instilled in you. That's why like school is those primary ages. Like when you learn one thing, you unlearn it. It's just the way that our brain is wired. And you get to a certain age, and it's just like you pick up new things along the way, you drop off things, but for the most part, like that's what it is.
No, I don't believe it. And the reason I say that is you're like, whatever your mother, your father, my father wasn't in my life.
But you have half his chromosomes. That he's you, whether you learn from him or not, that is still a part of you. Point blank.
But, okay, my father, yes, we share the same blood. But his habits, his ways are not my ways and my habits.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you look.
They're talking about the shit that you like. We're talking about learning, right?
Those are the experience. That's the part I'm talking about. Your experience is everything else from that.
But what I'm saying is, you were talking about the parents like teaching you shit, right?
Yeah, those are your experiences.
But yes, your experience. If you would have been like, if you learned from your experiences, okay, cool. But like, okay, my mom been in my life, but she hasn't. My mom worked 2 jobs. There was a point in time I could only see my mom during the middle of the night. My father, like I said, was never in my life. Now, yes, I learned through my experiences, and my mom has taught me a couple things, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's why I believe that it is not simply, what your parents teach you, because I had to learn a lot of shit on my own. So, and even if some shit that my mom did tell me that later down the road, I figured out that wasn't it. I had to learn on my own.
But those are your experiences. That's still under the experience.
So what I'm saying is, just because your mother or your whoever was watching you, this, that, and the fourth, teach you something, that does not have to stick. You choose.
We're not saying it has to stick, but it's harder to unlearn that as an adult. And even scientifically, like whether you believe it or not, scientifically, that's just what it is. Like maybe something's so special, cool. But for the majority of people, like it's just harder for that. And it's like like for instance, right, like. You're Haitian, right? And you have a way that you were taught as Haitian. If somebody comes along and tells you like it's different, like I don't give a fuck, because this is what I was told. And it's like this is what it is. Even if they can prove all these things to you, you were taught that this is what it is and this is what it ain't. And it's like it's gonna take a lot for you to unlearn that as an adult. Now as kids, like whatever, but as adults, it just takes a while. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It is possible, but it's harder. And it's like that's why. Like the foundation of whatever we learn, like that's why it's the foundation of the house. It's hard to we not just gonna rip this floor out, everything gonna crash. But it's possible if somebody can figure a way to take this joint out. But it's to just rip it out and then expect everything to still hold and be what it is. It's hard. It's not impossible. It's just hard.
I hear you, bro, but you're also an adult. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard. Like life is hard. It doesn't make an excuse.
That's an excuse. It being hard is an excuse. That doesn't mean that you're right or wrong to go about it. That's just what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an extreme since you like extremes, right? So like a woman grows up like watching her mother get beat by her father, right? And then she proceeds to get into a marriage where her husband beats her. And then someone comes along and is like, hey, that's not right. But to her, that's what she knows. That's what she's been taught. So to her, it's like, oh no, well, it is my fault, you know, I did whatever to make him upset. I should have, I don't know, had his food ready when he got home. I should have, because that is what she knows. Not saying that is right, because I mean, to me, obviously, like nobody should put their hands on anybody. Cool, but like for her, that is her normal. And yes, maybe, you know what I mean, if she's at a point where she's sick of it, or, you know what I mean, maybe you may be able to convince her of otherwise, but until she learns something different, that is her normal. That is like, those things were taught to her. That is what she saw, that is her normal. So like, you're thinking, right, what you grew up and what you learned, and what Robby grew up and what he learned, y'all may have, like, not may, but like, y'all grew up differently, right? So y'all's thinking is different. Yes, y'all became friends, right? So y'all obviously have some similarities, some things in common, some things that do go together. But there are certain things, right, that you've had to go through, that you've had to experience, certain things that you know that Robby's never going to understand or be a part of, right? And vice versa. So it's not like, oh, you know, what you learn, like, that's what you have to go for the rest of your life. But there are things that you learn, there are subconscious things, right, that unless you are like going on a soul searching and you are intentionally trying to make yourself better, you're not going to know anything is wrong with that until somebody or like something outside kind of steps in and shows you like, there's a better way to do this. There's a better way to know.
Like the way I said water. Apparently that's wrong. I don't give a damn.
Alright, to respond to what you were saying, I do agree with what you're saying, but it's like, I'm still on the fence about it because the same way a girl watched her mom get beat on, and that's all she knows, right? And she think that's okay. You could take another girl, put her in that shit, I'll never let a nigga put his hands on.
But that's what, because of what? Because that is not what she is used to.
Like, but now, like,
oh, you mean like
put the girls in the same situation, like, you know what I mean?
That could happen, yes. But in this hypothetical, right, where that's what she saw, that's what she learned, that's what she learned was okay. Now, it could turn out that, oh, she just, you know what I mean, maybe it's a generational thing, oh, she's here to be the curse word or whatever. You know, she's here to change things for future generations. Cool, fine and dandy. But like, just in general, like, you know, the girl saw her mom getting beat on, her grandmother getting beat on. That's what she was told, that's what she was taught was normal. Until somebody else comes in and shows her, like, nah, that's not okay, or like, there's a better way, she's not going to know any better.
I still agree with you, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, it's like I said, knowledge is power, knowledge is everywhere. You know what I mean? This same girl who that's what she knows, that's this, that, and the fourth, I guarantee that she would have been on social media and somebody's like, that's not it. And you could be like, that's not how it is. Because what I'm saying is, it's like, we learn from our experiences, right? Every day we go through new experiences. You see something that's an experience, every day we learn something new. And it's like, yeah, you could have been taught that, hey, this shit, whatever the case may have, was not right. Or that's what it is, but that's why I feel like we're adults, you know, we go on our own, like, there's shit you learn on your own, like, just through day by day. So, yeah, a girl can grow up seeing her people get beat on and feel like that's normal. And just like another girl can go through and be like, nah. So it's like, I can't sit here and be like, well, just because you was told that, you know, that's all you know, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take that.
I mean, like, okay, I don't disagree with you, right? You can learn, you can unlearn things, knowledge is power, yes. But until you obtain said knowledge, those things are going to, like, whatever it is that you need to unlearn, those things are going to be habit to you. Until you get that knowledge, until you get that awareness of this is what needs to happen, or this is what I need to do to make myself a better person, you're going to have those bad ideologies until you get to a point where you can access that knowledge, where you can have a conversation with somebody who will, hey, you know, that's not really okay. And I mean, even for, you're saying like the two girls that grew up in the same household, right? They probably have two separate groups of friends, right? And, you know, the kids I hang around, okay, this is kind of almost in it too, but then of the kids that I hang around, That's not what they're used to. When I tell them, they kind of look at me weird. So now I'm aware. That's not okay. That girl just had that awareness at a younger age than this person who didn't have that awareness, and now they're an adult. And like you said, it's harder for adults to unlearn things.
It takes 30 days too much to have it. So you might hear it on day one, and it's like, you're not just going to automatically fall in line. It's going to take time and time and time again to get to that point. I think that's the point that I'm saying.
I don't give a fuck who stop. No. I mean, I feel it, bro. I don't know. I guess I'm not as lenient with that. I guess just from my personal views and like how life has been for me. Like that whole this is what I've been taught, this is what I know. Like, you know, like I'm Haitian. Growing up, like we got beat bad. But like at the same time, it's like growing up we got beat bad. Mom used to tell me how, you know, they used to do her, all that. My siblings came over, they used to tell me how it is in Haiti and how they got beat, this, that, and the fourth. And it's like something deep down in my soul tells me this shit is wrong. But that's just me, you know what I mean? So not everybody's like that. So I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I just can't sit there and have someone tell, oh, this is all I know. And me just be like, well, that's all you know.
I don't think it stops there. I think that's when my point of view comes in. Then it's like, okay, well, having that grace to like, it's gonna take some time to get to the unknowing and everything, you know, that point. Yeah, we started though. So unfortunately,
We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up. We gonna come back to this. Yeah, hopefully we got more people, but gotta shout out to our social medias. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's gonna be in the description below.
No.
Okay.
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Robby Too Fast. You can follow the podcast at Two Sides of the Heart podcast. Two Sides of the Heart.
Oh shit, man. Y'all should know by now. It's DNS _Soldier. All platforms.
You feel
All
me?
platforms.
And if you want them back, you know what I mean? Comment below, say you want them back. Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? It's Robby and asshole. It seems so. You know, and Soldier.
What I say, your asshole?
No, that's
Sometimes you I lie to, girl, I don't love you.
You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too. First, let me make this clear. I ain't never needed you and probably never will. Broken heart, I ain't here.